What are you laughing
I
about?
thought you said, "Hey, you dupes." I was like, "What?"
You dudes or you dupes?
No, I don't know. I'm barely here.
Whoa. I got... Everything's going awry. I can't... okay. Sorry, I'm getting... I'm getting the... Yeah, tonight's not going to be chaotic at all.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm getting the stream started. It'll be in just a few seconds, really. Let me see. Hey, will people be able to chat on YouTube?
Yes, I've been up on my phone.
Hey, have people been chatting on YouTube?
Yeah, we've had a couple.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so if you're watching from YouTube,
Well, awesome.
holla.
Holla. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We're gonna be starting on Facebook in just a second. So here, let me see. Get all my buttons in order. Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It's good to see you. It's good to be back.
Heck yeah. Feels like it's been a while, but it hasn't.
You know, we did two streams a week for so long that it just seems like so long, but in between them now.
Yeah.
To me, you know, I mean, I almost want to bring back the double streams, but I know like this, you know, in the spring, the reason we stopped is because in the spring everything's going to get a lot more active and stuff, which is actually true. Like this Thursday, we're going to be doing a mural. When I say mural, we're going to be anyway. We'll be working on our mural.
Makes it sound fancy.
That does sound fancy. Maybe it's an extra fancy mural. I can't even talk. Good Lord! I swear, I'm drinking water with great
I am not.
flavor. Well, I'm the one that has the speech problem. I don't know what's going on. It must be going through the air and hitting me or something.
There you go.
Well, guys, tonight it's a laid back night. We're gonna chat a little bit. I've got a couple of paintings that I wanted to show you, and the ones that I'm working on, I'm almost done with them. And I think I've worked on both of them on the stream. One of them I know for sure, the Statue of Liberty one, and it's just about done. So I wanted to show that to you, and if y'all had any ideas or thoughts about it, I'd love to hear it. But one of the big topics that we want to talk about tonight is about galleries and art after 2020, because 2020 changed everything. It's just ridiculous, and it's still changing. We still don't know. Like some things are opening up, some are closed, some are open, but you know it's a question mark if it's going to stay that way. You know, so it's just trying to predict the future of what's going to happen.
Yeah, now you have to make appointments to go to see different. I mean, to the DMA, you have to tell them you're coming. So
like for museums and things.
Yeah, so they don't go over occupancy or something.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So, so we want to talk a little bit about it because art's something that we think about a lot, and galleries are something that we've worked with for over 10 years. Over a decade. I'm not sure. I don't want to date myself. I don't want to say how far, but for a good while, and museums as well, and all this. So, and I really want to hear. Like, I'd love to hear if you guys had any ideas. But we want to share with you one idea that we're doing, and we're actually wanting to open our gallery this year. So, I mean, and our gallery is the most inclusive sort of thing we could think of. So we want to share those ideas with you and have your feedback. I love that, and just see how we can push all this stuff forward. But we also have a pub quiz.
Yes, we figured because the idea with what we were wanting to do is gallery/bar DIY space, and I figured you should know some things about bar life, so we're gonna do a bar quiz.
Yeah. So kind of So and we'll get into that, but it's sort of a thing where gallery owners are having a really hard time making it, and what that means is that if you're a new artist, it's always been hard to get into a gallery or whatnot, but right now it is next to impossible if you're a new artist. I mean, this is just a horrible time for that sort of thing because galleries are having a hard time making it, and so people in the arts world they're looking for different ways. Like galleries are scrambling to figure out how to deal with this, and with us wanting to open an art space, it's very inclusive for everyone. One of the problems with current galleries is that they don't want to try new art. Like they want a proven track record. It's always been the case. if you can prove that you've sold to other galleries, then they'll want to bring you in. But if you're a new artist, of course, you don't have that. And right now it's much harder to get into a new gallery because they need every nickel. If they can sell art, if they don't sell art that month, they may be closing. And so if you're a new artist, you don't have a track record, they may be not really wanting to give you a try, which is terrible. It's just terrible. It's not good for the art world. It's not good for artists. It's not good for people who love art. It's not good for anybody. So our space, we're working on a way where we can bring in new artists all the time. And the success of the place, whether or not the doors stay open, has nothing to do necessarily with the sale of art. If you sell art that month, yay, everybody's extra happy. But if you don't, the doors don't close, and you can still try out new artists and different things and make it a lot more experimental, a lot more fun.
Yeah, we're basically funding our gallery with beer.
Yeah, well,
with drinks.
Jackie makes fun, she jokes, but yeah, the idea that we're having though is really kind of a sort of like a not the kind of place where, like, if you're like a college shots kind of place or anything like that, or like a bar, like a dive bar where it's just a bunch of beer and things. It's a cocktail space, it's a wine bar type thing, where you go in and everything is really nice. Everything is not hoity-toity, but just really nice, not a place where you'd feel very comfortable, like a lounge sort of like a cross between a really nice, fun gallery and a place where you can relax. Anyway, we'll talk about all this.
Well, Brooke has joined us, says, "Hey, babes, I have so many things to talk to you about." Hey. Thanks for joining us. We're getting slowly closer to realizing this thing. It's a bit of a beast, but I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. I mean, I imagine a place that is kind of this fancy gallery meets maker space that you can chill in.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a cool thing. And, a place, too, where it's not just about painting. It's about any kind of art and all that. So, but I'd love to hear some ideas that you guys have. And we have some names that we've been kicking around, trying to get the right name for this space.
Well, Brandon Foster joins us, says, "Exciting to have a moment to tune in. I will make a trip to your bar/gallery when you open for sure." That'd be awesome.
Well, that would be brilliant. And that's sort of the thing, too, is that it's a place where we want a place where you can hang out with the artwork. And so, where you can come in, and we have lots of art from different artists. And it's not like the gallery, galleries are such sterile places. That's one of the things we try to do in museums is make it more fun, more exciting. It's alive. When you go into a museum and you see all these amazing paintings, it's almost a sterile environment, and you forget that these were some really interesting people and that lived in really interesting times, and there was music and all this stuff going on, and you're in the museum, and it almost feels like you're in a church. It's almost like it's like an exhibit, like they've been caught in the wild and then preserved and stuck there, and so. What I want to recreate more is like the art salon, like the idea that you can go in, you can just relax and have a good time. You can hang out with your friends, but you're in a gallery sort of.
Maybe you're in a space witnessing an artism happen. Like a movement is happening, kind of like if you went into the salon and there's the Impressionists.
Yeah.
After they were accepted.
Well, one of the and I don't think that's too far off the mark either, because one of the things is we want it to be extremely inclusive for everyone. Artists with disabilities, tons and tons of workshops of teaching all kinds of things, but being able to bring art in from around the world and artists. And so, the internet makes a great way to be able to do that, where you can connect stuff. So this could be a whole new ism. Who knows?
Brandon says you have to serve Mojave sauce at your gallery.
Heck yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's actually a brilliant idea.
I'd be dipping into the profits a bit then.
Yeah. That is a brilliant idea. I'm glad you mentioned that.
How many drinks could you, put some of that sauce around the ring on? We'd have to...
You could put it on cream cheese, too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, that would be the normal place, but I'm outside the box, Oh. Can you put it on the rim of a drink?
I don't know. Can you put salsa on the rim of a drink? I mean, you could.
You could try.
Should you?
Should you? Barbara Brands joins us and says, "Yo, so excited for your gallery." Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. And Yeah, I'm excited too. And the big thing is that this started with us just me wanting like a studio space, a place to be able to work in a little bit bigger, because we've definitely outgrown the studio,
Yeah.
and it's taken over the entire house, and it's, so everything is just, so we're looking for that, and then we thought, well, shoot, if you're getting a studio space, why not make it? I used to love George Rodrigo, I think is his name. He's a Blue Dog guy from Louisiana, and I don't know if this is true, but I always heard that his gallery down in the French Quarter, if you went into it, it wasn't like an art bar or anything like that, but it had couches, and people would go in there and just hang out while he painted, and it was just sort of a really nice art vibe. And I thought, how cool is that? And that's brilliant. So I thought it'd be nice to have a place where artists of all kinds can come in and actually make art, and you can go in and make art. And if you can't draw a straight line, that's fine. Lots of stuff where people are just having fun. But anyway,
You're such a talker, though. Would you actually get any painting done?
Heck yeah! Look, I'm painting right now.
So, are you just working on this just in general, or are you sharing this one with the group?
Oh, I'm sharing. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, let's share.
So I'm working on this. It's a commission, and so I've been going all around it. It's not a huge canvas, but it's a nice size canvas, and I have a family with 3 children and a French bulldog, and they're all happy. They're at the beach, and the details probably aren't showing up on this. That's one thing. I'm a little hesitant sometimes to show commissions, because on the webcam, we're using webcams, and I got paint on myself. And on the webcam, you can't really see the colors very often, and the details not. So I almost hate for anybody who's commissioning something to see their painting and it not be as crisp or colorful as it actually is in real life. But
yeah, and the first impression matters. So if they see it when it's half done, they may be like, "Oh gosh."
Yeah. So, but like Jackie said, I'm a talker, so I love to talk, and also I think most people who come in here and they see things, they get the idea that there's a transition. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm just working on these palm trees, and I have the Statue of Liberty painting that I want to show you guys too. But anyway, that's what I'm working on right now.
Well, Ron has joined us, says hi, and Brandon said that is beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. Hey, Ron. Well, awesome. Well,
so what else do you have? Because you've been working on that for a little while. What?
I have. I know I've been working on. There's some paintings that go so quick, and others that it just takes a while, and that's okay. But yeah, it's weird.
What do you see as being like the last bit of touches you got to do to it?
Well, honestly, I want to finish out these trees, and so I want to finish out the trees, and then I might want to put a little more color in the water. I was working on the water today, and I was working on the background of Statue of Liberty painting. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of getting it there. It's the final little tweaks really that are some of the most important, and so I'm doing that. Oh, and I should say happy. St. Patty's Day. I couldn't think of what. Tomorrow is St. Patty's Day, but it's also Jackie and mine's wedding anniversary.
Yes.
We're so Irish that we got married on St. Patty's Day, and we had a leprechaun.
We had a leprechaun. Well,
we got married in Vegas, and leprechaun
it was inevitable.
Pouring shots for everyone.
Yeah, that was inevitable. There was no getting around that. And he would. Well, yeah. It was a blurry night. Anyway,
can you truly say you're married if you haven't had Elvis and a leprechaun at your wedding?
Sheila joins us and says, "Nice painting."
Well, thank you very much. Well, tomorrow is our 14th wedding anniversary.
Yes.
And we've been together for 18 years, so our relationship is 18 years old.
Yeah.
Which makes our relationship legally an adult.
Yes.
But our relationship can't drink yet, but
and that's probably a good thing. But yeah, so it's funny because I think we've reached that state in your marriage where you're like, what on earth do I get that person? What on earth are we doing? What's going on? So I think John and I are gonna go. What was it tomorrow? We're gonna.
We're gonna go to Upstairs Circus.
Yeah, we're gonna go Upstairs Circus and do a art project.
Yeah. So Upstairs Circus, they have some places around the country, but it's like a paint bar, but instead of it just being painting, it's a bunch of arts and crafts and different things. I've never been to a paint and sip, tons of workshops, but I've never been to like a paint and sip type, and I've never ever been to a DIY one either, like where you
I'm
get
excited.
a kit and you make stuff.
I'm excited about this. It should be a lot of fun. It should be different.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're both gonna work on the same project, like if you do it together.
No,
Or if we're gonna make. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the projects are. Like, what if it's like. Ooh.
Well, this is what's cool about this place is that to give everybody the scoop. Is that when you go, it's like not only do you probably get a drink menu or whatever, but you get a kit menu. So like, you get a list of kits, art style kits that they have, I guess, behind the bar or something. And those are sectioned off with like functional, like a wallet or something, or wall art, the nail and thread stuff or whatever. So depending on what you're feeling, you can just choose one. But I want to say, because I had to make reservations because of COVID, they are only letting they monitor the seating. So it's like in order to just walk in the joint, it's $40, I think. And you have to, and that $40 gets you your seat in the place and one kit, I believe.
And they're very careful when it comes to COVID. I mean, I read through all their stuff, and they really take it. They closed down for the longest.
Yeah.
They're just now opening up.
So it should be fun. So we each get a kit. So I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm curious what you're gonna choose.
Gosh,
It'll be interesting. Well, my mom joins us and says, "Love you guys. Love you. Hope you're feeling good.
Love you back."
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun. I would say we're doing something completely different for our anniversary, but it involves art.
Yeah, but it's so different though in a way, and it's in Deep Ellum, which is one of my favorite places in Dallas. Bishop Arts is my favorite because they have two of my giant murals there, but
and they have a pie shop.
But Deep Ellum though is I've shown art. We've shown at the Deep Ellum Arts Festival. I don't know how many times. So, and we're so familiar with the downtown area there. It's just kind of a cool, funky place. That's I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to visit.
Well, so you mentioned like part of the talk on this. What we were going to do tonight was talking about the future of galleries.
Oh yeah.
So aside from what we've been talking about opening, I was just skimming some articles and just being aware of things on the interwebs. It seems to me that there is like some, especially because COVID is almost like fast tracked this, that there is this transition to digital. And so like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a whole digital component to brick and mortar galleries that are almost shadow the brick and mortar. Like, did you hear about the art that was just sold for like $63 million? It was just a digital. It's not like a physical piece of art. It's a digital piece of art.
Oh, I heard something, but yeah, I didn't hear that it was 63 million. Wow.
Yeah, and the artist is a digital artist. But he's been doing it for like 15 years or something, and he didn't really expect it. His name's Bleepy or Beepy. Somebody out there can correct me, but yeah, he's like the third most expensive artist now that's living. So I think like Kuntz is before him, and then there's one other dude or something. But I think there's this especially with like millennials and all that. I think there's this major shift to some digital component to galleries, or like VR, like the Van Gogh experience is traveling the country now, and half of that ticket is like a VR experience. So I think this will be interesting to see how this kind of plays out, if it's a shift from just slowly walking around a building to something more immersive where you run around people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was wondering. That's a good point. I bet a lot of it, the digital aspects will. But I was wondering. I was talking. I'm doing a thing with the Texas Governor's Committee for people with disabilities, but I was talking to a lady from the governor's office and with an artist who's just starting their career today on a Zoom meeting, and it's so interesting to talk to this artist because she had so much talent, and she happened to be an artist with a disability, and she's just starting her art career, and it just had me thinking all day because I had that call this morning, and about how hard it would be for someone to break into the art world right now. You got all these people they're leaving, they're going to art school and they're doing all this, and they have pie in the sky, and then COVID hits, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
It's always been difficult, but I think though, for a gallery to be successful, like most galleries will take 50 to 70% of any sale. I don't know. I think most people know that, but if you don't know it, that's what happens. So the artist gets 50 to 30% of whatever painting that they make. Unless they sell it themselves. But if you're going through a gallery that's typical. If you're a big time artist, then you might make more than the 50 or whatever, because the gallery knows they're going to sell it for a lot and they're willing to take a smaller commission. But the gallery's having to pay their light bills, they're having to pay tons and tons, in the lease of these places. The mortgages are just crazy, so you need room for a gallery, and so it makes it really hard for them. Like, a gallery owner is in there because they love art. And you get in with the idea thinking like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have all these young artists come in. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so cool. And
well, I was gonna say, and I think that's why. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of like the gallery's business model. I just don't think it's conducive for an artist, like an up and coming artist. But I mean, that's why they don't. A lot of galleries don't invite new artists because they've got to pay their bills, so they need an artist coming in that already has a collector's list.
Yeah.
And if you already have a collector's list, think outside the box and sell your own stuff,
Yeah, that's a problem with us with galleries, and I don't show in galleries that much anymore because generally a lot of the sales go to people that heard about me through my website or through
social media. So.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the gallery, but then the gallery gets half the sale, and you think, well, goodness, why am I giving you half the money to not sell the artwork? And
I think it has to do with like there's this sort of ingrained teaching that you're not established unless you're attached to a gallery. I know when I was in art school that was a big deal, and while there is, there's good things to be attached to a gallery or work for a gallery or whatever, but I especially, and like I think that's the whole thing with the transition of art galleries is that it's going digital now, and people, we have social media and we have all these things that are putting images in front of people's faces that the old model is not going to work anymore. So
yeah, and I should say too, I don't want to sound like I'm down on all galleries and stuff. I'm really not. There's some amazing galleries out there with amazing owners. I just mean the marketplace really for art, and because there's some incredible gallery owners, but then a lot of these incredible gallery owners are having to turn away artists that they would love to show because they've got to keep the lights on.
Yeah, they may not sell them. That's true.
I mean, the rent at a gallery space in Chelsea, I was just listening the other day. It's $100,000 a month. Isn't that crazy?
Bonkers.
And none of us, like, I'm not going to open a gallery in Chelsea.
That's bonkers.
But I mean, just the idea of that's crazy. But then, like a gallery space in, like a nice space, big enough to walk around and have stuff, like even in Dallas or somewhere, could easily be around $10,000 a month, and or somewhere around that, and and often is in a scary part of town, a little bit because it has to be because that's the only way you can get.
I know it's funny because whenever we've had a history with galleries, they've kind of been in a sketchy area because that's how they afford it. So, but I mean it's still it's still eclectic and cool and people come out to it, but. So, Brandon Foster said when we were talking earlier about Beepy or in Jeff Koons, he said he doesn't hold a flame to you, John.
Oh, thank you, man.
So, and Stephanie Cook joins us and says selling through non-fungible tokens, which that's the cryptocurrency that digital art is selling through.
What is it now?
It's NFTs is what is the acronym that I've seen everywhere, but the word is non-fungible tokens.
Huh.
So what's funny is I first saw this when I was perusing art fair forums, and some people out there the other artists were like, hey, have you guys heard of this? Is anybody doing this? Because this is starting to gain some traction. And I looked in it. I have no idea how any of this works. It's very like Bitcoin-ish, but I mean, millions of dollars are flying around apparently.
Wow.
Brandon says, if you're green, you're growing, and if you're ripe, you are rotting. You have to adapt and grow with the times.
This is true.
So, and Barbara Brand says, there might be live music at your gallery, ? You know I love me some live music. Yes, and we'll have to have you come up and photograph some stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the gallery is it's going to have live music. It's going to have poetry readings. It's going to have lots of different things, and it may sound like a big mismatch, but one of the things we noticed, because we work with lots of different types of galleries and different spaces, is that a lot of galleries are only open during the day, or they're open during certain times, and then you have like an art lounge, and those are open at different times, and so like and then you have event spaces, and those are and then the DIY and the workspaces and all that are open, sort of an overlap there. But one of the things that we wanted to do is where most galleries are only able to, they're taking 50 to 70% of the art sales. We're hoping to give 100% back to the artist, and at first it may be we may be taking 20% or something like that. I've seen some other art pubs or art bars like do it that way. So we'll have to figure all that sort of stuff out. But the idea though is to be able to bring in new artists and to be able to really support them, online and with their prints and everything, things that they may not have access to. So they have ways to be able to sell it, and then they're making more on the art. But our place though, it's an actual like art. It's an actual bar, so it makes the money as a bar on certain nights and different things. It's an art lounge. It's always artsy. It's like a nice, like there's a place here in town called Pascal's where it's a lot of fun to be in there, and you feel, it's really neat, and you feel artsy and all that just being there. And then there's other places that are like paint and sip, but you don't, you got to bring your own wine, you got to bring your own stuff. So we wanted to be able to do a paint and sip where we're hiring artists to come and teach. So that's another way for artists to make money, and they'll actually be making more at this place because.
I think it's almost a missed opportunity that there isn't an avenue for artists to share their craft.
Yeah.
If you have a gallery show, I know that's kind of our shtick is when you go in and do a show at any gallery or anything, it is almost always accompanied with a workshop. So I think, especially, with the up and coming artists that are experimenting with really new techniques and all that fun stuff, sharing that would be awesome.
Yeah, and so, we're thinking the gallery of the future isn't going to be strictly just a gallery. In the past, you would have a gallery that would close a big portion of the day, or it wouldn't utilize the space. Now, the big idea that some galleries are suddenly starting to have is, hey, we could use this as event space. This is something that's been happening in LA and New York for years and years and years, but the smaller galleries have never thought about it. And the bigger, like the Fashion Week in New York and all that, that's held in a gallery, and because they have these massive galleries. So did I mention 100,000 a month? So they have these massive spaces.
It's crazy.
And they've learned to rent them out. So, the business model that we're coming up with is a gallery space, a full-on gallery, but it's also utilizing the time when the gallery isn't being a full-on gallery, like you're not having an art show and all that. So much of this stuff overlaps, and and then when you do have art events, so you have art events every month, you have things going on, and you're able to cater your own art event, and and it just kind of makes sense. So you've got several ways that you're making money, and not just through the poor artist that's having to hopefully you know, I mean, the artists need the money
Yeah.
to be able to make it. So
Yeah. So, well, Barbara Brand says, okay, I'm in.
awesome, man.
So, well, with all that said, you know, and we've watched a whole season of Bar Rescue, so I consider ourselves experts at this point.
Yeah, we're experts.
Well, with all that said, are you ready for the pub quiz?
Ooh, let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
All right. You got the first question? All right, here we go.
I'm going to paint while I drop some knowledge.
And anybody out there share what you think the answer is? I'm curious. They're a little obscure and weird, so.
Oh.
Sort of, I guess. Okay, so question 1. The shape of the modern champagne glasses is said to have derived from the mold of whose breasts?
Oh.
Jack's
heard this. I've
Jack's
actually
hanging
heard
out with
this.
us. Do you? It's okay. Are you ready for your options?
Yes, please. Gosh.
A. Elizabeth I of England.
Okay.
B. Marie Antoinette. C. Coco Chanel. Or D. Anne of Austria.
Okay, I think I have my answer. I've heard this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear the name, so I'm going to go with that. But I don't know if I'm right. Or if my brain's tricking me. But I'm going to wait to say my answer, though, because I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
Well,
all I can think of is those are messed up breasts. Like, what?
well, okay. So we've got Linda guessed D,
What's
I'll get. Linda guessed D, which I'll give you guys I'll give you a clue. Champagne is obviously from France.
Yeah.
So one of those answers can be nixed off the list.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the answer is.
No, I haven't guessed.
Oh, I thought you knew. Okay, sorry.
No, well, I think I do know, but I want to guess before you give it out though, because it'd be easy for me to say, yes, that was my answer. Gosh,
Right?
I'm smart. Yeah, I think it's Marie Antoinette.
Well, then you would be correct.
Oh, wow.
Yes, she was Queen of France right before the French Revolution, I believe.
Huh.
Okay.
How saucy.
How saucy. Next question. Okay. What year was the first beer that was sold in cans?
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready for the years? The
Sure.
options. A, 1935.
Oh.
B, 1964. C, 1911. D, 1918.
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing. It could be pretty early because cans and stuff have been around, but for a while. But people get really used to something. So if they're used to it in a bottle, they may not have wanted switched over, even if they could have.
True.
So it might have been a thing where put it in a can. Well, it'd be like it's like I don't know. It's like in the supermarket when they switch from paper to plastic. People were like, "This is the weirdest thing."
Well, Linda says C. She guessed 1911. I should say Barbara guessed B on the previous one, and she got it right.
Yay, Barbara.
So right now you have somebody that has guessed 1911.
Gosh, I'm thinking of the 30s or the 60s. You know what? I'm gonna go with the 30s. Which one was the third? What's
A, 1935.
35? Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I don't know though. I almost want to say the 60s, like hippie generation, freewheeling with the cans, and then you don't even think because there's lots of pop tops.
Well, Barbara said she guessed C, and she said canned wine was a hard sell. Yes, I still can't. I haven't. I'm at the box level, and I think that's pretty good.
I'm gonna go with 30s.
All right, so your guess is A, 1935.
Okay.
You would be correct.
Ooh. Wow.
Way to go. All right.
Well, maybe choosing to open an art pub is a calling.
You're virtually an expert.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are you ready for the next one? Okay, the Manhattan cocktail, a blend of sweet vermouth and whiskey, was first created by the mother of which famous politician?
Oh boy.
A, John F. Kennedy. B, Winston Churchill. C, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Or D, Herbert Hoover.
Wow. wondering which one of these presidents would have smelled that drink and thought, "Ooh, mama, mama's breath."
Gross.
This reminds me of my mama.
Mama?
I don't think it was Kennedy. It was Rose Kennedy, I think. I don't know. Churchill. No.
Linda guessed C.
What is C?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Ooh, that's a good guess. What's the last one?
Herbert Hoover.
Oh, I'm going to go with Roosevelt as well.
Okay.
I don't know, because Manhattan, New York, Roosevelt, I don't know. I mean, it's Franklin Roosevelt. It's not Theodore.
Right.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with Frankie. Frankie D.
Frankie D. Well, unfortunately,
Oh.
while that is a good guess, Barbara guessed C on this one as well. While that is a good guess, because he was governor of New York way back in the day. So he did, I mean, that would have been, that is a good guess, but the answer is actually Winston Churchill.
Really?
Yeah. His mother was from Brooklyn.
Oh, shoot. I knew that. I knew his mom was from New York. I didn't know it was Brooklyn.
Yep.
Wow. Well, and Winston did like a drink.
He did.
Wow. So that's awesome. That's just... Just him over there. Oh, gosh. Manhattan.
That doesn't sound like a good drink at all. I'm sure I've tried it.
Yeah,
But I don't think
I'm
I
not
don't
a
like
fan.
vermouth.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, I gotta say.
Okay, next question. What is considered to be the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world?
Ooh.
Okay. A, barley beer. B, chicha. C, Georgian wine.
Wow.
Or D, Chinese fermented beverage.
Gosh, it doesn't even have a name. It's just, would you like some of our fermented beverage? And chicha, I'm not sure what chicha is.
Chicha is corn maize, I believe.
Wow. Well,
I believe.
okay, I'm going to say it's not corn maize because that sounds like American sort of thing, and we didn't come over to America for a while. Like, Native Americans and stuff.
I can tell you it wasn't, the corn maize wasn't, I mean, it was not American. That chicha is not American.
Oh, okay.
Not, I mean,
Chicha and the man. Chicha and Chong.
All right, Linda, guess A.
China has been around a day or two. They've seen some things.
They've seen some things.
So.
And I liked your comment where it was like, it doesn't even have a name.
Yeah, it's so old. It's like, it's the stuff. It's the thing. It's the drink. Well, okay. I don't know. I'm going to go with Chinese fermented beverage.
Barbara guessed C.
What's C?
Georgian wine.
Oh, I like that too. It sounds very like Russia. It's I don't know.
Okay, well, the answer is D.
Oh.
Chinese fermented beverage. Which actually, okay, when I was looking at these questions...
What is that? It's scary.
I was like, I knew, right when I read that question, I was like, it's mead, right? So,
okay.
But, so I knew the minute I put that in there, you would be like, oh, it's mead. Yeah, I knew you'd probably get that answer. So I had to do some digging, and... It is mead is Chinese fermented beverage.
Wow, so you broke out a thesaurus or thesaurus or thesaurus.
Well, I didn't want to make it
Worcestershire
so easy.
books, and
Although, I mean, you got it right. I mean, I knew.
Gosh.
That was my next thought. Was like, it doesn't even have a name. He's gonna be like, that's ridiculous. So
little did you know that I am ridiculous. So.
Well, what's funny about all these questions is these questions I only had the answers to. I didn't have the multiple choice, so I had to find.
Oh, that's nice.
Really old beverages that sounded, and all these are like 5,000 years old. Or 5,000 BC.
Oh.
So, I mean, even the chicha is like, I mean, I forget what country that's in, but it was, old.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so next question. What is the official alcoholic beverage of the United States?
Oh, I think I know this one.
Well, dang. A, gin.
I love me some America.
B, brandy. C, bourbon, or D, vodka?
Well, I won't say my answer right away because I think I know. I could be wrong, but I like to think I'm not. But anyway, speaking of America, I should show my Statue of Liberty painting right after this
Oh, yeah.
question.
What is your favorite liquor?
Mine?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know.
Is it America's liquor?
Maybe. No, I mean, I do like it, but, I don't know, because I like vodka and I like rum. I like rum a lot, but also I like to skip. So skip. It sounds like I've had enough to skip for a while and I haven't drank anything, but it's like Scotch whiskey.
Ugh, gross.
Especially like Lefroy and stuff like that.
Really?
If it tastes like
Really?
you're licking the soil, the peat moss itself.
He buys this Lefroy Scotch. We don't buy it often because it's not cheap, and
And nobody will drink it.
Nobody will drink it, but you do get a tiny patch of land in Scotland. So we own some patches of land in Scotland.
Yeah, and I don't buy because it's really expensive, but also something like that. The fun of it is having like a glass with somebody, and so and the amount of people that that like Scotch is a certain percentage. Then the amount of people who would like a really peaty Scotch is even a smaller percentage. So whenever I find somebody like that, so you can buy a bottle and that bottle will last you for years. But I'm gonna say bourbon.
Well,
bourbon, baby.
Okay, I should say Barbara guessed C, bourbon. Stephanie Cook threw in absinthe.
Ooh.
And just for kicks.
Nice.
And Barbara said, I'm just saying this because it's Barbara's favorite beverage. So she's a bourbon fan. So the answer is, in fact, bourbon.
And the reason that I knew that is because there's actually laws on how to make bourbon, like on
Really?
what to put in it and all, like for it to be a Kentucky bourbon and this or that. Like it has to be the percentage like this, percentage that, and stuff. So it's kind of like champagne over in France where there's certain rules and.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's sort of our thing. Maybe we should.
Can it be called bourbon? You know how like champagne can only be champagne here, otherwise it's like sparkling wine.
I think it can only be Kentucky bourbon or something like that. Like you can only put that on it if it's certain.
Huh.
I don't know. I really don't know. We have some friends that have gone on bourbon tours and different things.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Our friends from Roanoke would know that.
Yes. Okay. Well, speaking of America.
Oh, America. Here we go.
Let's see your painting.
Okay. So this is the Statue of Liberty painting that I've been working on.
You should grab the bottom and hold it closer to you a little bit.
The bottom?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You mean?
Yeah, I was trying because the colors aren't as vibrant as they are in person.
Oh.
It like the sky colors are muted a little bit. So anybody out there?
Sorry, everybody. Oh. He's like the Ghostbusters thing.
Who are you gonna call?
If somebody asks if you're a god, you always say yes. Ghostbusters. Ray. So.
Okay, you can put it down.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, you did. Sorry. So. Yeah, I want to say that the colors are a little muted on screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're actually really, really bright.
Yeah.
And to walk through it, I mean, for anybody that has a visual impairment, it's really a bust of the Statue of Liberty. You can see her right arm going off towards the left-hand side of the canvas. And, it's like her shoulder, but then her arm disappears. You don't see the torch. You see her face, but it's such an up-close look that you don't see even all of her spikes or anything. Like the top spikes are going off the top of the canvas, and about the only spike that you can see all together is the one that's just to the right of the center spike, and it goes off to the corner in the left, if that helps at all. But the colors though are extremely bright. Like I'm touching this is her eye, so if you go down, and this color right here is a lemon yellow, so it's this lemony yellow. This is actually a hot pink. It's like fluorescent down in here. So if you aren't seeing like a fluorescent marker pink, that gives you an idea of how the colors are different. So it's much brighter. It's much more vibrant in person. And one of these days, I want to get better cameras and stuff, so maybe things look more like they actually.
It's probably the lighting, honestly. I think your your lighting over there is so bright, it blows it out a little bit.
You want me to try off a painting light?
No.
See what happens?
No, I mean unless you want. It's whatever.
Let's just give it a try. What are you?
Okay.
Computer, turn off painting light. Does it look fluorescent pink?
No.
I think
Looks darker.
I think it might be the lighting in the camera. I don't know.
It's all of the above.
Computer, turn on painting light.
But so this is a commission as well. Someone had contacted you because they had seen the mural you did at the immigration office, which is a huge 24-foot by 12-foot mural, and they really liked it, but they wanted a vertical. So
Yeah.
So you were like, and your color palette is like their favorite. So here we are. Hopefully they dig it.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I love painting the Statue of Liberty.
You've painted her so many times.
I have. Well, to work for the mural, I did lots of different paintings. There were lots of sketches, lots of full-on paintings, and
Do you have to actually use a reference still, or have you just got it memorized?
Yeah. I do. And I used like last week, and we got some emails from people asking about some of that. So that's awesome about how to use NVDA and different things. So that's really cool. But I still use a reference because I want it to be spot on.
Yeah.
Because I just want to make sure to get the distances like between the eyes and the nose and all that, like the anchor points and the pivot points. Just make sure that they're accurate. So, but it's a lot quicker now. When I first did it, it took me a long time to do the first drawing, and now I've done a few of these. So I go like, oh, okay, I can remember. Yeah, and her chin is a little square. Okay, I got it. You know,
Been there, done that.
Been there. You know, so it's a little easier. But but I do that too just to make sure that that it's spot on. Same way maybe like a tattoo artist would use a reference. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe you've drawn 100 roses or 1,000 roses, but you still may use a reference just to make sure that your 1,001
is perfect.
Yeah, because especially if it's a commission, and it's not just willy-nilly, I don't know, I feel like there's an obligation to pull out all the stops. But, so there.
So are you done with it, or are you...
No, well, well, here, let me put it back, and I know, like we've been saying, the colors are wrong because of the cameras or something, but, I don't know, what do you think about the background? I made kind of a light background. I was thinking about putting some bolder colors in here as well. But I don't know.
I'll be, like, I can't judge from the screen, but I've seen it. I looked at it right before we were doing this, but I think the background is perfect. Like, I wouldn't even touch it.
Oh, cool. I worked on that for a while today.
But I would say that maybe more slight bits of blending with the brighter pops of color color done. Like it's. I really dig this one. I did too.
And I wanted to keep her a little bit sloppy, almost like graffiti in a way. But because to be more like raw energy, raw emotion, because she is a statue, But so as a statue, she's very stoic, and she has a stoic sort of look. She's very sort of stern, stoic, like she's guarding freedom, and she's very, I don't know, like serious. But the idea of freedom and all that, it's an incredibly vibrant emotion. So that's why I wanted like the crazy chaotic color and all that. So
Barbara just said, I was so happy that you explained last week how you look at photographs, because every time you tell everyone that I'm the best photographer, I think, oh great, they're probably saying she's highly recommended by a blind guy.
That's what I say. Like if I tell one of my friends like, oh you're pretty or you're handsome or whatever, they go like, thanks. That means a lot.
No, I'm amazed. That software that you use is just crazy to me, because we'll get photos of people that want like a straight up portrait of somebody, and I don't describe the picture to John, and then I'll come into the studio and he's got the drawing done from just listening to the sounds and the vibrations. It's trippy. I don't even.
It's funny though, but it's developed over years for so much. Like you and I working together with it, because in the beginning, we did like a lot of the photos wouldn't work. Like I don't know if you remember that. Like there were so many more photos that just didn't work, and the software got better, and I think I got a little better at using it too and all that. But But yeah, it's just like anything, I guess. You just get a little bit, like, I'm blown away with what you can do with Photoshop and everything. It's like, it's just
thanks,
like, good grief. And the fact that Steven Spielberg can have dinosaurs walk around and it looks real, that's mind blowing. Being able to use sound to be able to tell if something's black or white, it sounds very much more simple to me. It's like using sonar to be able to understand 3D maps of your environment. That sounds crazy to me. Like, so when you have a submarine and they're going through the water and they're able to see wells and they're able to see the floor and they're able to tell other ships and all this stuff that's out there, other subs, and be able to navigate it just using sound. And then what I'm doing is just like, is this pixel black or white? Or gray? It's like, it makes a doot or deet. It's like, if it's a deet, it's gotta be white. If it's a doot, it's gotta be black.
Well, I mean, it's probably like, it's the equivalent, I would say, to like the guys that work in the submarines that can read that stuff to you. Crazy. I mean, because I would listen to that and it'd be a series of annoying sounds, and whereas you're like making a complete image in your head, and that to me I can't wrap my head around. So you're in theory you're like one of those sonar readers on a submarine.
Thank you. That makes me feel really good. Thank you. If anybody remembers the Hunt for Red October, there was that one guy, and he was an African American fellow, and he was a sonar guy. And I love this guy because he would listen. Everybody else had to be really quiet. And he would be listening with his headphones, and he'd be able to hear the screws turning on the enemy submarine, or like if somebody opened like a can of something, he'd be like, oh,
really?
Or something like that.
I never saw that.
It's been a whole long time, and of course the brilliance of Sean Connery kind of overshadows everything, but yeah, it was just so cool, and being able to tell how far away something is, and all this, be able to hear it like, the very left, Captain. Yeah.
I mean and I don't doubt that. I mean, I'm sure there's some movie magic going on there, but it is pretty insane what they can do, and when you're a specialist in the field and all that stuff. So I mean, everybody's got their tricks.
Yeah, and well, I know. I guess we got off topic a little bit. We were going to talk about galleries and the future of art and all that. But I think maybe the future of art really with galleries and businesses that are, and you could correct me if I'm wrong on what you think, but if they're going to get a lot more flexible, I think, and if we want to bring new art to people, and if we want new artists to flourish, then the galleries are going to have to be able to support those artists, and not have to, and be able to give the money that the artists from the sale of the artwork directly to the artist, and not take so much of it,
Yeah, I mean,
because if you're, like if you're not expecting, like, okay, I need to sell a $10,000 painting, or I need to sell 10 $1,000 paintings, this month to be able
really
able to pay my rent, for the gallery, and getting a group of artists who can sell 10 $1,000 paintings.
Yeah.
That'd be your main priority, instead of giving the new guy a go because his art is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, other avenues of revenue would definitely be ideal for a gallery. Like, I know when we were working with galleries, we could actually come in and do the workshops, and that was, I know we do workshops typically for free depending on the situation, but it also was a way to do PR for the galleries. And I mean, so thinking outside the box is what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very digital.
And it makes it so much more fun. Like, one of the things about the museums that I love that we do is that it makes it a hands-on experience. And a lot of times in museums you'll see people that, it's like it's a church, but if we're there doing a workshop and a tour, people are laughing and we're having fun and stuff. So to be able to, one thing that I think is really amazing about a gallery and art space in a neighborhood is that it adds to that neighborhood. It gives it some character. It can be a source of pride for the neighborhood, especially if it's exhibiting local artists, because anybody that comes in, they can see the talent that's in that place, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good about the space, and and also for people, even if you don't consider yourself an artist, or as a hobby or on any level, you can still go into a place like that and appreciate it. And then if it's a place where you can actually make things yourself, like work on different things, and we have so many things that we want to do, and I won't go into it right now, but it's stuff where people can engage, and you don't have to be able to draw a straight line. You don't have to do anything. You can just be there.
Yeah.
you know. So that'd be fun. I don't know. So there. But I'd love to hear y'all's ideas. You know, and also from artists, you know, because one of the things that we're really wanting to do is show art. And so, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
But, well, that's the paintings that I've been working on. And so I'm going to keep that. I like your ideas about the blending and the bold color.
Maybe
it,
just, you know, just like tiny bit of more finishes and then you're done with it. But, so.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So next week, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that a little bit.
Cool.
Do you have any ideas?
No, but I really like the concept of technology in art.
Mm.
I mean, and like how that is evolving. So I'm sure I'll come up with something next week to yap about something, and we'll do more trivia. Yeah. It'll be great.
Yeah, and we'll have worked on a mural here in Denton, and we'll have done our the art event tomorrow night with a workshop.
Yeah.
That'd
You
be
know what?
fun.
We should share some experience photos. Some of tomorrow night's thing, and also the mural. So maybe we'll share that on Tuesday. That'll be good.
That sounds brilliant. Well, guys, I hope y'all have a good week. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, be sure, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye-bye, guys.